Hi, welcome to the demonstration for a full end-to-end process for requests. Now right here on the dashboard, we have a couple different ways that we can get to requests. We can go to contracts and click on requests to basically see a view of all requests, but we've got a hyperlink here for users to easily be able to submit a request for an NDA. So we'll go ahead and let that open. And here it is, the mutual NDA request. Now users can select a existing company, or they can type in the name of a new company that they would like to request an NDA for. Now in the case of an NDA, it's likely going to be a new company that we need an NDA for. So we're going to go ahead and type in a new name, Video Demonstration Company, and it's going to see if there's any similar names, and then we can go ahead and proceed. Now this is from the requester's perspective. They're going to have to fill out a description, a purpose, an estimated start date, and then you see on the right-hand column there is company information that they have to provide for this new company that is going to be created through the request for this NDA with that new counterparty. So we'll go ahead and select an estimated start date of today, fill in some testing information for the address of the company, and this is mainly to make sure that we can fill out the automatically generated document that is going to come out of this NDA. So at this point, the requester can submit this directly, or they can save it as a draft if they would like. If they'd like to come back to this later, maybe make some edits, but we're going to go ahead and submit. And this is their view of requests that they have submitted. They can scroll over to the right, look at some created on, submitted on fields, and they can refresh right here and see if any changes have happened. Now this one was completed automatically because it is what we call a self-service request, where it does not require an approval to be created. So the company profile and the contract profile were automatically created with the data that was submitted by the requester. Now you see that we can't actually take any actions on the workflow because currently I am not the assigned person as contract manager. So now we're switching hats here. We're not the requester anymore. We're switching over to our role as the contract manager, and now that this contract has been created and the workflow is kicked off, we can take action on the different steps. So we'll go ahead and save that value after we edited that responsibility, and now we have the options available to us. So we're going to say yes, this is on our paper because we want to generate one of our templates. And now we see the document has been created. The creation template step has automatically completed. And we can scroll over down to the links section and click on documents and see that we have a document, a mutual NDA, and we can click on the preview button to see what that document looks like in its draft form. It hasn't been signed yet. And at this point we could make changes to this document if we wanted to, but we can review it here. We see the fields that have come over from the request from the contract profile have been merged into this document. And if we scroll on down, we'll see a signature block with the company name, Video Demonstration Company. And when we're done, we can close this out. And that was the step. We basically had to review that contract document. Contract manager has been assigned to do so. So we're going to go ahead and complete that step. Wait for that to finish. And now we are in counterparty review. And you'll notice the status has automatically updated as well to be in process counterparty review. At this point, the point of this step is to review the document with a counterparty if you needed to do so, and this could be done a number of ways. It could be done through email, it could be done through actually the messaging feature here. Now, all that's really required of the user is to just click complete on that step, but if we wanted to save some time, if we have our address book built out with the counterparty contact, we could attach that document and send it to them. And we're not going to go ahead and send this message out here for demonstration, but this is how it would be done if you wanted to do it that way. So we're going to pretend we have created and completed the counterparty review. We've sent it out. So we'll say, yes, the step is complete. And now we want to know, does the contract need further review? So basically this is to see if it needs to go to other departments internally for review. So we're going to go ahead and say yes here. Maybe there was some value that made us think, we really need some further review. And notice the step is assigned to legal review, and it's letting us know that we don't have that responsibility on the contract. So we're going to go ahead and with our contract manager hat on again, say, okay, well, I need to get this to legal. We need to add that attorney responsibility. So we can look through the different responsibilities available, and we know that this is going to legal, so we need an attorney. So we'll go ahead and select that, and I'm going to add myself in here again so that I can complete the step. Now in a real world practice, this would probably go to another person, and now that person in legal would have the opportunity to review this contract and complete the step. And they could also do this over email. And as you can see, the status is updated again. So now we're back in this loop to counterparty review. So this is where we can kind of loop around here if there's any issues with the contract. We don't need to go forward to signature, but we've completed our counterparty review and our legal review, so we're ready to go to signature. So now the contract manager has one last chance to review this before they say, yes, it is ready for signature. They're going to go ahead and click complete again. And now we have the opportunity to actually launch the e-signature package. And here we're going to be demonstrating Conga sign. So we're going to give this one last review, see if this is ready for signature. And one thing I do want to point out here is that we automatically created this new company through the request. So this is the information that was submitted by the requester. So this is probably a good time to review that information as well before we go to signature, just to make sure this NDA that we're getting in place is accurate and can be signed. So we'll switch back over to that contract and we'll launch the e-signature package. And we're going to go ahead and select our document, and we automatically have a signer pulled in through the responsibilities feature. And we could have more than one signer if we needed it, and we can add one, but this is just going to be one signature for demonstration. And Conga Sign will walk you through the user interface with some tips. And then we can go ahead and apply our signature tag. And the signature tag is all that we actually need, but if we needed to put in title or name, we could do that as well. So once we click send, now Conga Sign will send out an email. And we can sign it via email, whoever this was sent to. In this case, it was sent to me. So I'll go ahead and sign. Review the agreements and warnings. Go ahead and apply my signature on the signature block. I can draw it if I want to, but I'll choose to adopt the auto-generated one. I didn't quite align that signature tag perfectly there, so that's a good reason to make sure you align those up. And that might be a reason why I might decline if I was the signer, so that can go back and forth. So now we'll go back to the contract profile, and we'll wait for that signed document to load here. And here we have the automatic notification. All signatures have been processed. We can view a signed PDF of that document. And as you can see, the further automatic notification to any other stakeholders that we wanted to notify that the contract has been activated has come through. And now the flow is complete, the status is active, and the process has been completed. So that was an end-to-end process, all the way from request going through contract generation, workflow, and e-signature. And now you can see we have two versions of the document. We have the initial draft, and then we have the executed contract. So now we can run this preview again, just like we saw the email PDF. We've got our signed NDA here to preview. Now we're ready to process more contracts if we need to. So that'll do it for the NDA. Now we'll move on to a different type of request. And we'll run through the process of creating a new company completely rather than a self-service request. So a user can come in here, select new request type. We're going to click primary request. So this could basically be anything other than an NDA. And in this demonstration, we're going to go through a new master SaaS agreement, so software as a service. So we can go ahead and select a existing company. I'm going to go ahead and create a new company again because I want to demonstrate what it's like from the approver's perspective when they have to approve a new company. since this one is not going to be self-service like the NDA was. NDAs are relatively simple documents, but other types of agreements can be more complicated and need more review. So we're going to have an actual approver review this before it becomes a contract profile. So we're selecting a new SaaS agreement, entering in some required information, and we're going to fill in a estimated start date. Now what the requester doesn't see is that there's certain fields being defaulted in the background for convenience's sake and based on our configuration. So once we've submitted this, let's switch hats here. You can see that this was not automatically completed like the other one was. And we're going to switch roles now and say, hey, we are the contract manager. We are the request approver. So we're going to log in and head on to contracts and then approvals. And we can see the most recent request submitted just a few moments ago. And we can begin processing with that green plus icon. And notice here that there are a few new fields. There is agreement type, there's contract type. Now I have the opportunity to select an existing company if I think that maybe the requester typed in a name wrong. But if I want, I can go ahead and approve the fact that they wanted to create a new company. And I'm going to go ahead and create this and fill out any required fields. Now I could have requested some of this information from the requester, but in this case I'm leaving it up to the approver to fill out the information, assuming that we want this person approving to be the person making these decisions. Now this is just address information, but if we wanted, we could have all kinds of other additional fields that needed to be filled out at this point. So we'll go ahead and get the address information in, since that will go into our generated contract later on in the workflow. And once we're done, we'll go ahead and hit save. It's going to warn us that the name is similar. Then we'll go ahead and click yes, we still want to continue. So now we don't need to create a new company. We see there's a link up there, and we see these other fields have been filled out, like contract type, legal entity, and term type. So these weren't up to the requester to fill out. These were automated through our configuration of this request. So now we're ready to actually review and create this request. We've decided to accept it. We've got some information we need to fill out. We need to add in an expiration date due to the term type that we've selected. And we're going to set a status of in process, ready for contract entry. And make sure we get our responsibilities filled out, entering in myself so that I can complete all the actions in the demonstration. And once I hit save, this is now a contract profile and the workflow should have kicked off. We'll click on that blue arrow to get us taken over to the contract profile. We can see that we are on the intake stage. So once again, we're going to say this is on our papers. And we can see that the document has been generated automatically. And we now need to review that document. So we'll go ahead and scroll on down to documents. And we'll check out this SaaS agreement that has been generated. We'll go ahead and click preview as we did before. And we can see once this document comes up, that here in the preamble of the document, we've got all the fields that were merged in. We've got all the address information, the effective date, and things like state of incorporation and the company names. And if we scroll on down, we can see the basic information of this document is correct. And we've got our signature block with the right company names here as well. So we're going to go ahead and complete the step to go to counterparty review. We're going to complete that counterparty review. Now, last time we said we wanted further legal review, but this time we're saying, nope, this is our paper. We already know what's in it. So we're ready to go all the way to execution. So we're going to go ahead and launch e-signature through Conga sign again, same as before. And this creation template actually had automatic tags. So some of our work is done here. This is a feature that is available in your creation templates. You can add special tags so that Conga sign automatically knows where to put them as soon as you begin to send it out for signature. So we're going to go ahead and send that out. And we'll wait for that email to come so that we can go ahead and sign it and get this completed. So once again, here is the Conga sign process. We can scroll down to the signature block, apply our signature, fill out any required fields like title here, and then we can go ahead and complete signing. So now all the signatures have been completed. Now we really needed 2 signatures here, but we only added 1 signer to the package, but that's just for demonstration. Normally you would fill out everything that you needed. So in a moment we'll have the completed email notification, and this process will be complete. So we've refreshed the page and that signature has come back, and now the contract flow has been completed. We see the status has been updated to active, and our automatic notification via email went out to let any concerned parties know that the contract has been completed. After that, we can review the signed document again if we'd like, but for now, the demonstration is complete. We've gotten 2 signed documents via request, an NDA that was self-service, and a more complicated process with a SaaS agreement that involved an actual approver reviewing the document. Now, your workflows can be more complicated or less complicated if you need to, but all steps that were taken, skipped, or completed can be viewed here in the flow activity and can be reported on if needed. Thanks for watching.